guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great, keeping healthy and safe. I've been so busy doing my face and my skin routine, and I even forgot to educate my viewers about this. How could this skip off my mind? Anyways, if this is your first time coming into my channel, you're highly welcome into this channel. It is all about educating you about coming to Bahrain, and it also deals with skincare routine. So I'm mixing the two together, so don't get it twisted. Anyone, you can pick up something from there, grab it and make it useful. So on today's video, I'm going to be talking about something very important and very useful. But before going deep into the details, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're a newcomer, and please turn on your post notification so every time I upload a new video you're going to get notified. And if you've been watching my video so far, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your effort. I'm super grateful. Every subscriber in this channel really matters to me. So I'll just go straight to the point. Today I'm going to be giving you an advice. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to be telling you which is best to work. We have cafe and we have restaurant. Now with the cafe, some cafes, like if they put, for example, I'm going to give the cafe I was talking in Cafe Arabica. Like in this cafe, we were selling food, we were selling shisha. Ooh. Okay, I'm back. So in this cafe, we're selling food, we're selling shisha, we're selling smoothie drinks. Smoothie drinks. No, not actually smoothie drinks, like just fruits. Okay, mojitos and drinks, yes. And then we're selling what again? Okay, that's all. So we're selling food, shisha, and drinks in this cafe. And it's a dine-in, like dining, people coming to eat and stuff. So it was really good. And then I worked in another cafe, Mambo Cafe. Am I supposed to be telling people the name? Okay. I worked in that cafe, but I worked in that cafe for 2 weeks. Because it was not moving. When something is not moving, just let it go. So it was not moving. I worked there for 2 weeks. But in this Arabica, I think I worked there for maybe 8 months. Yeah, so 8 months, 6 months, maybe. The interval, because what happened is it got closed, so I had to look for that job. And then when I got this job, it was not going well, and then I got this one I'm doing. So let me give you an advice if you're looking for a job here. So one thing you should know is that when you're looking for a job, immediately you start applying or you start going for interview, there are so many openings. And one thing about Bahrain that is so advantageous to you and I is that there are so many jobs. So many. Especially when you check on expat. Let's say people always need waiters, they always need waitress. People always open restaurant. Okay, it's not bad, but the how can I say, the percentage of restaurant in Bahrain, it's more than anything. There are so many restaurants in Bahrain. So, and there are so many cafes also. So if you're going in for a job or you're looking for a job, and you maybe need an advice from somebody, and you want to know which is best for you to work, should you work in a cafe where they sell food and drinks, or that, okay, cafe, you can also call it restaurant, or should you work in a coffee shop? Now let's I myself, I got confused along the line. So let's not get confused, let's also come to it and understand. Cafe Arabica. This is a restaurant actually, but it's just named cafe because they sell coffee. And then coffee shop. These people are specialized in coffee. This is where if you don't know how to do coffee, I will get away from there. Of course, they need people who know how to do the coffee. So what I'm going to be advising my viewers today is that if you're looking for a job, don't look for a job in a restaurant. Okay, I'm not going to say all of us are going to get jobs at the coffee shop, but what I'm going to tell you is that um getting a job at a coffee shop is more advantageous than getting a job at a restaurant. Anyways, there's a disadvantage and advantage in everything, because in the restaurant where I was working, I was getting tips. Like, okay, the second restaurant where I was working, where they were doing something like a promotion. So when you sell 100 BD in a day, because you clock in with your name, if you have to dine in, like you have to take an order from a customer, you clock in with your name, so your name is showing there. At the end of the day, they calculate how much you have sold. So sometimes I can sell like 100 BD, so they'll give me 10 BD. So when I sell 10 BD, they give me 1 BD. When I sell 20, they give me 2 BD. So they were motivating us to sell. This was a good suggestion, so that, because when I go on the table and I have a customer, and the customer will tell me, okay, what's your bestseller? I'm not the bestseller. I'm not going to give what is best there. I'm going to give the most expensive thing. That most expensive thing is going to make me to add my sales for that day. So that's what I used to do. So when they ask you what's your bestseller, I'll tell them beef steak. Beef steak is actually nice. This is recommended everywhere in Bahrain. It's nice, but it was expensive. So beef steak was like, let's say, 7 BD. Just imagine two people take 7 BD, 7 BD. I already have my 1 BD from there. So I used to take things that are very expensive. So even if they ask drinks, they ask starters, whatever I'm giving, I give them the most expensive. So at the end of the day, I get my tips. Okay. So now the only problem with this cafe, that I'm not going to call the name, is that to pay your salary, hey, you had to call. It's like his police case. It's like you should go to the labor office and report. Oh God. To get your salary from this cafe, it was not easy. Oh. Let's say, usually we know salary, let's say people receive salary within the first to the fifth. Normally now, before you're signing the contract, you know, okay, I'm receiving my salary within this interval. You will stay there and that fifth will pass, seat 10, 15. Don't even be threatening to enter the 20th. But you know, one thing I did not have an issue with is because I was earning my tips. I was getting tips. So it was really not an issue for me, because at times by the end of the month, I even have maybe more than what I'm earning as salary, because I used to get tips. Just imagine I'm getting 10 BD every day. 10 BD every day for a month. How much is that? 300 BD. So I'm even earning more than what I was earning as salary. So I was getting more. Okay, now why I will advise you to go to a cafe. Okay, no, let me first of all tell you why you should not go to a restaurant. Why you should not go to a restaurant? Why you shouldn't go to a restaurant? Why you shouldn't go to a restaurant is because the tendency of this restaurant closing is so slim. Like this. So slim. First thing, we have this the first thing that made these restaurants easily close was COVID. But now anyway, we're done with COVID. So what happened is, majority of these restaurants tend to close up because it's not easy to run a restaurant. If you don't have the finance, it is not easy. And if you don't have a good manager, you're doomed. It's not easy to get a good manager and then to be able to finance everything. So if you don't have this, I'm sorry, you cannot run a restaurant. So this is why you should not go for a restaurant, because restaurants will close. The tendency of them closing is very slim. Can you imagine that I work in a restaurant for just maybe 6 months and it closed down and had to start searching for a job again? And then another restaurant which I was recommended to, it still shut down just within a short interval. Like, let's say I went to that restaurant, let's say 2 weeks after I stopped working, I went to the restaurant, and then the salary there they wanted to offer me was so good, but they were not providing accommodation, and then the money for accommodation that I saw was so expensive. So at the end of the day, I'm earning very low. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to take this. No, no, no. So what happened is this restaurant also shut down. Just imagine I was working in a restaurant and then left and worked in another restaurant. I would have seen fire. But notwithstanding, I still went to another restaurant. Which I went to another restaurant to get my salary was a problem, because they're not going to pay you on time. Why? They'll tell you, okay, we do not have customers. And of course, it's true. You saw it. They are not customers. Customers are not coming for dining. They are not come to eat. They are not come to smoke shisha. Anyway, shisha, they'll come and smoke shisha. But how much is shisha? It's not that expensive. So maybe they'll come and be selling shisha for 1.5 BD and 2 BD. And at the end of the day, let's say 5 people come for a big dining and you have more than 5 staffs. And of course, you cannot pay these people. So don't go for restaurant. Go for cafe. Now, why I will tell you to go for cafe is because people will always drink coffee. Quote me anywhere. People will always drink coffee. You know, this time when you're going to work, let's say people are working the school teachers, people are working their offices, all this in, they need coffee. Getting up early in the morning and going to work without coffee, trust me, you can sleep at your job site. So yes, coffee will never lack. People are always going to need coffee, so go for coffee shop. Coffee shops will hardly shut down. It's very rare. I don't think you need, and from experience, you're not going to be needing this much income to continue running this company, this coffee shop, as that of a restaurant, because restaurant requires a lot. Let's say you have to be buying food every day, you have to be buying shisha, you have to be buying fruit for the juices, mojitos, everything. It's so expensive. So go for the coffee shop because people always get coffee. Whether there is corona or not corona, whatever virus is around, people always get coffee. Because even if you don't, they don't come for dining, they'll come for, they'll do for delivery. So go for coffee shop. So if you're planning to come to Bahrain, I would advise you to learn how to do coffee. Or if you don't learn how to do coffee while coming, while in Bahrain, learn how to do coffee. A part of you working in a coffee shop, the salary is not too good, but it's better as compared to some restaurant. I not say all, I said some. Okay, so don't get it twisted. So I would advise you, please don't get this twisted. If you're looking for a job, I would prefer you work in a coffee shop. One thing we came here to do is to hustle, and you cannot be working and at the end of the month you don't get your salary. This is so frustrating because of course you have family back home you need to send money to, and of course you need to take care of yourself, so you need your salary. You're working because you need to get ego the cash, so at the end of the month you don't get this cash. Oh my god, it's so frustrating. Not all restaurants are going to be treating you this way, but according from my experiences with the past restaurants I've worked in different places, I would advise you to go for a coffee shop. Mm-hmm. So this is between coffee shop and restaurant. Which one should I apply for? Should I go for a coffee shop, coffee maker, or should I go to a restaurant as a waiter? Go to a coffee shop, okay? Because first you're going to get a salary quick, and also you'll be closing on time. Yeah, most coffee shop, let's say they work 9 hours. Restaurant, you're gonna work 10 hours. They'll even threaten to give you 11 hours, 30 hours. But the good part about restaurant is also that they'll pay overtime. Anyways, everywhere pay for overtime, but of course you need good resting. Like the cafe I was working in, I used to work from 12 to 12. No, when I say 12 to 12, does not mean 12 to 12 straight. Means I'll go to work at 12, go back home, sleep. I'll go back home at 4, sleep from 4 to 8, then come back to work. So my whole life was at the job site. My whole day. That's why I'm moving around in Bahrain is somehow, because all my life it was just at the job site. You're waking up at 12, you're waking up at 11, the next thing is you're going to work. You have just one day off, and sometimes on my off days we get so busy at the end of the day I sit back at work, I cannot leave. Of course I was like a small supervisor there because my boss eyes were on me. He had so much confidence in me. I was controlling everything, so I could not see certain things just passing by. I had to stay and cancel my off, and of course by the end of the day he pays me for that off. So I was good there, but the only issue was I was unable to get my salary on time. But trust me, this boss was the best. So guys, preferable, if you were to ask me, or my advice I'm giving to my viewers is go for a coffee shop rather than a restaurant. Okay, so if I have educated you or you have gotten something from this, so if you have gotten something from this video, please don't forget to press on the red icon below to subscribe to this channel, and also give out your suggestions in the comment section, because maybe some people prefer working more in the restaurant, but for me coffee shop is top notch, number one. So if you've gotten something interesting and educative in this video, please don't go without subscribing, liking, sharing, and giving out your comments down in the comment section. I'll be seeing you guys again in my next video. My next video, I'm going to be doing beauty skin, so don't get it twisted. I'm mixing the two together. Anyone you can get educated in, grab it and get the knowledge. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye bye.